Are you prepared for people to tell you no? This question was posed to me by a member of the school board at the beginning of my senior year. While presenting our idea, the Committee for Student Voice, Allison Lively and I were asked if we were prepared for people to tell us no. Because, I assume, our future propositions to include students in their school administration will be far too radical. Admonishingly, he added, "We're still your parents, and sometimes you have to do things you don't like to do." The school board member must have felt like he was giving us a crash course in adulthood, because he said it with the confidence and condescension of a tenured professor. Looking back, it's funny. Our first presentation to the school board about our idea to better involve students in the policy making of our school, and the second question we were asked was intended to let us know how our voices weren't mature enough to be taken into full consideration. It's hilarious, really. The school board that put us on their agenda to talk about our idea is the same school board that wants us to be prepared for no. We're still your parents, and sometimes you have to do things you don't like to do. It caught me off guard. I was being scolded in front of the entire school board, and I realized something in that moment, that to adults, I'm not to be taken seriously. But what has puzzled me is, for as long as I can remember, adults have from time to time looked me directly in my eyes and told me, "Your generation is our future." Young people can relate, whether it's your uncle or grandmother or a random friend of your mom's. There has been a time in your life where a person older than you has passed on the wisdom that our generation will be the one to save the world, that we are the ones who will need to be stronger than they, and that the children are our future. And they say it so confidently, as if they are not directly plagiarizing Whitney Houston. What I've gleaned from my interactions with adults is not only am I young, naive, idealistic, and not to be taken seriously, but also I'm the future, and smarter, and kinder, and wiser than the generations that have preceded me. This dichotomy has played out so clearly in front of me this year. When I was asked to present to my school board, I mentioned changing our schedule for e-learning to accommodate a student's sleep patterns by having the school day start later. And instead of seriously considering the proposal I was invited to make, I was met with a school board member claiming that a change in schedule would not be proper, because in her experience with teens, we're lazy regardless of the time we wake up. And these are not isolated incidents. These are just a few examples of when I have felt diminished by the same people who would hold my generation in high esteem for our capacity to change the world. Are you prepared for people to tell you no? Of course we are. How do you think we've been operating for the past 17 years? We've been working on the assumption that we won't be heard, and we've been conditioned to be grateful, even when the slightest change has been made. The major accomplishment of the Committee for Student Voice this year was getting urinal dividers to increase privacy in the men's bathroom. A student said he felt uncomfortable when peeing in the restroom, so we ordered dividers to increase privacy in the restroom. For the longest time, I held this example up for myself and others as a reason why we should keep trying to include students in their administration. Because, I thought, even minor change was a step forward. But I've come to realize that this is how my generation has been conditioned to operate. We've been taught to be grateful when we are heard even the slightest amount, and that any progress is still progress. We've been told to be appreciative when we get our way because we've seen a lot of things not go our way and many things that might never go our way. And that is unacceptable. You've given us a frightening world filled with conflict, division, and disease, and you want us to be grateful? You want us to appreciate increments when we so clearly see that not only does climate change have a timer, but is itself a ticking time bomb? And you could just dismiss me as another angry teenager holding petty grudges, or a scared child lashing out. But that means you would have to dismiss what you have created. You can't ignore me, because ignoring me means ignoring what you have done. Take care of your monster, my teacher loves to say, because it is you, adults, who hath wrought such destruction and division. To the adults listening, you may be feeling attacked or angry, and for that I apologize. I do not mean to make you feel hurt. I mean to make you feel uncomfortable just like me. Don't say the future rests on our shoulders. Do something now. Do not rely on the young to clean up the mess that has been made. We are not the future because we are living in the same present as you. To all the young people listening, I am sorry. I'm sorry that we've inherited such a messed up world. I know you feel angry and scared, and you have every right to feel that way. But just because we've been dealt a terrible hand does not mean we should not play. We are on this earth at this time, whether we like it or not. We have been charged not only by adults, but more importantly by our fellow peers to be better, to do better. Because we have been left no other choice. So be angry, vote, protest, cry, dance, laugh, make friends. But remember our charge, to be better. Thank you.